the culture, and using your words, and values of WPP, it's a 28-year-old company. It was started with 2 people in 1 room. That is very different to the culture and values of a JWT, which has been around for almost 150 years, or an Ogilvy, or a Y&R, or a Gray, or a Hill & Knowlton, or a Burson Marsteller, or whatever it happens to be. They have very different. I prefer the word approach rather than culture, because it conjures up all sorts of fancy business school rhetoric. You know, so what's important, if that's what the question really is what's important to people at WPP, and there are only actually 350, 400 of them basically in London, New York, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, Turkey. I think those are the locations. Singapore. What's important to them is very different than what's important to them. I mean, the answer to your question ultimately is I think everybody knows intuitively what the culture of a company or vision of a company or what a company stands for, what those things should be. Everybody knows intuitively. They intuitively know what's right and what's wrong. If they don't, they shouldn't be there. So I find a lot of and this is part of our business, so it's probably destroying part of our business, a lot of the thoughtfulness that goes into defining vision, values, culture, whatever it is to some extent over-egging the pudding, because we all know intuitively what's right to do and what's wrong to do.
Okay. So just to flesh that out, if I'm working for Group M, do I think of myself as working for WPP, or? Well,
that's part of the issue. I mean, Group M is even more complicated because there are 4 brands inside Group M. There's Mindshare, there's MEC, there's Maxis, there's Mediacom. And so you have, it's not just Jekyll and Hyde. No. If there's somebody in literature who had 3 personalities, so you'd have, whether you're working on one of the brands, so let's say Mediacom, then Group M, and the balance between that, and then lastly the balance between that and WPP. So the matrix is a very complicated matrix. And then you throw on top of that client, and you throw on top of that country. Very difficult. Yeah. So complicated matrix.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting business.
Messy. But deliberately so.
That's good work.
This is not like General Motors in the 1920s and Alfred P. Sloan.